Just like Nick Miller.
Hey, look at that. I've never been an inspiration before. I don't like it. It's too much responsibility.
I am not a successful adult. I don't eat vegetables and or take care of myself.
We are back, people. How good is this? We are back and ready than ever. All right, after school holidays, got a couple things I need to get through because the big race is coming up. So just first and foremost, thank you to my huge sponsor, Rokeby, again with their protein shakes. Love chugging one of those down after a long run. Nothing is better. Nothing helps me recover better than a bit of Rokeby protein. So thank you to them. I think there's 30 grams of protein in there. That is elite. Okay, a little bit about, so my peak week. This was the toughest week in my training program, the toughest 2 weeks, my training program. We started off with, just a 6K run, went into a 12K run on Tuesday, trying to hold both those, trying to be a bit quicker. Then after that, we had a bit of a morning run. That was just a bit of a roll the legs over, just kind of flush them out. And then Sunday was a big day, a very big day. So I had the 25Ks in the morning, and then I followed it up with 9.6Ks in the afternoon. That was a tough one. It was raining as well, which, I did not want to get out of the house and do it, but I had to. And running in those conditions, I might have to run in those conditions when I have my race. So it's good practice that I just get to experience what that is like. Then week 17, let's scroll on down. Now, here we've got it here. So we've got just got my afternoon run, which is a 9.2 kilometer run. Again, with that one, it was 500 meter warm up. And there was a bit more of an interval session. So it was 500 meters of me like pushing, and then 500 meters of me at like an easy pace. I did that time. It's 8, and then a 500 meter cool down. So it was 9 Ks in total. A bit of a tough one, but I enjoyed it. And then this one here, Friday morning, got up nice and early, cracked that one out, 14 Ks. That one was like a tempo run, really tried to push my pace in the last 2 kilometers as well. And I felt really good with that. So pretty happy with how the body was feeling through there. Then the last easy run, it felt good being done with my long runs after that. I'll tell you what, my last one, 24.3 kilometers in 3 hours. I kind of focused on like what my research had shown and what like the videos that I had been watching had shown was to break it up. So I applied that and created my own strategy in this run here. If I can zoom in a bit closer so we can see it. So we got a 3-hour run. The first 2 kilometers was really easy for me, just, rolling the legs over, kind of flushing them a little bit, just making myself feel comfortable. Then it was 6 Ks at my marathon pace. Then after that, I did 2 kilometers pretty easy. Again, back down, just like rolling the legs over, calm myself down a little bit. And then after that, I did 8 kilometers, trying to push myself a little bit quicker than a marathon pace. That really helped me to understand, okay, like I can work hard even when I'm fatigued.
Here we go.
So a good little mental one, but also a physical one. And the last 5Ks, it was just like rolling the legs over really nice and easy. So it was a good one. I was glad when it was done. I did have a note to myself that maybe if I'm gonna go to a few footy games the day before my race, don't stand up, find a seat, because that was gather round and I was standing the whole time. So it was a bit of a rough one. So now that my kind of peak weeks have finished, was runnersworld.com, a great website that I found really useful for me. They kind of explain what a taper is, which is around like cutting back your running, and how long it should last. So it should last anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks. You should slowly move back, cutting down how much you're running in those 2 peak weeks, how much like cut down from those 2. So it should be like cut 20% or 25% off each week until you get to the marathon week. And it kind of gave a bit of a breakdown of like no longer than these sort of times. Kind of said maintain the frequency of your running. So if you're running 4 times a week, persist with that pattern. For me, most of the time, I've been running 3 times a week. So I'm going to try and keep that pattern up. and maintain or even slightly increase the intensity of my training. That's something I'm going to really take note of, because I don't want to just be like slacking off knowing that like the hard work's done. I still want to keep that intensity there. I also gave 11 tips to like perfect your tapering, and these are the two that really stood out to me. So the first one was visualize success. So that's something I'm going to do over the next 2 weeks, is in terms of like just having that attitude that, you know, I'm going to be successful in this run. Things like as well, maybe even going out and running part of the track so I can visually like see myself completing those parts. Another one is just doing some visualization around like finishing the marathon, around like, you know, just mentally preparing myself for what's to come. Next one was prioritizing sleep in my taper. So I guess that's one thing that I'm going to really have to emphasize. It's just maybe getting to bed a little bit earlier and focusing on that, especially like the week beforehand, it says. It also says to maybe take some magnesium supplements. So that's something that I'll check out 1 hour before bedtime, because it acts as a muscle relaxant. It has a calming effect on the brain. That's good. All right. Encourage better shut eye. I need some good shut eye. And also no screen time before bed. Oh, no doom scrolling and Instagram reels here. And then reduce or cut out alcohol. So I'm a month out at the time of like when I'm looking into this stuff. And for me, I'm going to make the decision to not drink any alcohol that whole month. So for me, I look at it as like it's not like I'm a big drinker or anything, but like for me, it's just like I don't want to potentially ruin like the hard work that I've been doing so far. So that's why I've made that decision. And just so I guess it will help me to prioritize that sleep. Watched a couple videos. This one was like the tapering, and he explained like what it was, why you need to do it, and how you need to do it. So I found this guy really helpful, Ben Parks, as a really good perspective on it. I've also been speaking a lot to Mr. Randa and Mr. Peter around that tapering, because they know that from like a performance perspective. So understanding that, so getting their perspective on it has been a really successful strategy for me to understand what tapering looks like, whether I'm doing it correctly. Because remember, this is all first time information for me, first time doing it. So that's that. For me, I guess I am going to need to build my tapering program and then obviously enact it. So that will be what our next video is on, as well as maybe creating a bit of a race strategy. So I think I'm going to come up with that so that I can kind of map out and block out the race sections and just go in with a lot of confidence. So that's all for today. So that's all for today. Another massive shout out to my good friends over at Rockaby and Mr. Peter. Give a shout out to Mr. Peter. I appreciate the hard work he's been putting in, both at school, away from school. He's running as well. He's been a big person of inspiration just to try and keep up with hitting the number of kilometers he's ticking off each week. So shout out Mr. Stephen Peter. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, people. We are nearing the end of this series, and boy, has it been a good one. All right, I'm going to have to think about what is next, and that is exciting times ahead. So see you later.